All right, Chuds, we're back with more Marathon. Only things are a little bit different now since we've all got a chance to get our hands on a playable demo of the game. Which, make no mistake, that's exactly what this was. Sony and Bungie are terrified that people aren't going to buy this game, and so they wanted to give everybody a very front-loaded experience of this game so that when it releases, you'll consider paying full price for it. I myself played it on stream for about 2 hours, and it was all right. You can just smell the fear inherent to the design that Sony, their oversight has definitely pushed Bungie in a direction maybe they didn't want to go, or maybe they did. Sony is just terrified this game is not going to sell very well, and you can just smell that through almost every aspect of the design. However, it did have a couple of fun moments in the 2 hours I played. The shooting felt pretty good. The sound design was pretty good. I think the art style is unique. The cutscene was pretty cool, but it just, I don't know. It lacks identity. It feels like it was designed by a committee with HR heavily involved. They're trying to market an extraction shooter to a wide, broader audience, which, I don't know, man. It felt a lot like Escape from Tarkov, which the core community of Tarkov is a very small, limited player base, and that's always how it's going to be. You know, your standard Call of Duty audience of millions and millions and millions of people is probably not interested in playing a hardcore extraction shooter like this. And this isn't as hardcore as Tarkov, of course, but it's got the same bones. I can't say me as a high schooler really enjoying this to a point where I'm going to make this my main game, you know? And yet that's what they're trying to do. I just don't think it's going to work. I'm a little bit pessimistic about it. Also, I do want to note that Bungie is doing the thing that 343 Industries did for Halo 5, which is the original opening cutscene. They made it abundantly clear that you are not fighting humans. You are not fighting organics. You are fighting robots. So please, 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 ESRB, give us a T for teen rating, for the love of God. Do not give us an M for mature rating. ESRB, if you can hear me now, T for teen, please. Maybe I'm a little too cynical, but that's what I saw. My end verdict is I don't think I'm going to be buying this game, certainly not for full price at launch. Maybe I'll wait for a super sale, which, well, I have a feeling will be coming very, very shortly. You might be able to pick this game up for very cheap a couple weeks after launch. At least I'm hoping for a $2 CD keys purchase. Then I might consider it. Anyway, that's not why you guys are here, to hear me rant about Bungie and 343. Without further ado, let's get into the Steam forums. Woo! Let's go! Now, I was gonna make a video on this when the Server Slam first released, but if you'll notice the time since last post here, this is about the activity level I want, where the first page of 50 is about an hour old. During the release of the Server Slam, every single post on the first page said just now. So there was at minimum 50 replies per minute on this board. That is way too much activity. I'm not doing that. Anyway, let's read what some of these people have to say. Sync Hot One starts a new thread titled "Will Not Pay Full Price for This Game." I'm Australian, which means this game is $60 dues at launch, and honestly, I've played very little of this game. Not without trying though, usually it just says I have connection issues if I try to play with Wi-Fi and not Ethernet, but the time I have played, well, it just doesn't seem it's worth $60, and I don't know, I'm just wondering if anyone is in the same boat, even with US pricing or whatnot. Bravo, first reply. When I go to the supermarket, I always have to announce how I will not buy this product for this price. People look at me kind of weird when I do, but that's who I am. If you ever wondered how child abusers can be in charge, well, I'm allowed to vote. That is a leap. That's definitely connected, bro. For sure. Oh God, why does this have to be in the first thread? Can't we wait till like 3/4 of the way through the video for this? Nope, we're just getting right into it. Saint Bill writes, if you live in Australia, a game's price at launch should be your last worry. Jockeymon writes, $1 is a reasonable price for this game. Davy CS writes, Arc Gayers is $59.99 and it's boring as hell. It has been overhyped by streamers while Marathon is more PvP focused. Cheaper and it's actually fun. fun. Also, there's no Care Bears, no Don't Shoot, no peanuts, and no peanut brains. Burnt Peanut is gonna get a lot of hate in this board. I can just tell. This is gonna be a very anti-peanut experience. Mofalon starts a new thread titled, "So how long before they decide to shut down the servers?" Personally, I give it a month or two before Bungie internally releases that the game is dead. It'll be the same exact situation as with Highguard. By the way, I say quote unquote Bungie because they are not the real Bungie. That studio died when they lost all the actual talent and decided to become a live service slop studio. As usual, they'll try to keep it alive a bit longer, but before the end of May, we'll get the announcement that the game is shutting down, fulfilling its destiny as Concord 3. So how long do you think this soulless piece of trash will last? After it dies, I'm going over to the Concord 4 Horizon forum. See you there, boys. It does have a point. Bungie likes to market themselves as the studio that made Halo, but it's not. All the people that have made Halo are gone. They've been pushed out. They've sought employment elsewhere. There was a whole bunch of drama with founder stock where the studio, the new heads were trying to push out the old guys, and all the talent that made Halo, that's gone. Like, modern Bungie is just skinwalking as the studio that made Halo, but it has nothing to do with Halo. Also, Concord 3, I think we're on Concord 5 now. You gotta keep up, Mofalon. There's been a lot of Concords. First reply, Joy. Nearly 400k on Twitch. If that is dead, then I have news for you. Mofalon replies to that with the Steam DB charts. Welcome back to reality, bro. Crowdy writes, Bungie is high-guarded too close to the sun. Mino Thorine asks the real question. How many will spend $40 for the full release? I wonder. Yeah, if a game like Highguard was free to play and it had 100,000 people give it a shot and it just couldn't keep enough people around playing it consistently to keep the studio alive, even with the Tencent money, that wasn't enough. And I wouldn't have spent $40 to try out Highguard. I don't think people are going to spend $40 to try out this game. I'm kind of with the pessimists on this one. I don't think this game's going to sell very well, and I think this might be end of the line for Bungie. I hope it's end of the line for Bungie. Honestly, I want to see this studio fail. They're completely untrustworthy. They don't deserve your trust or your money, and all the actual talented people within Bungie would be better off just working on their own projects or in smaller studios making better games. Fury writes, topic by a blocked user. Must be one of those losers with 5 friends who the only thing in common they have is they think all new games are slop and woke. Get on like 10 level 0 alt Steam accounts and start talking to themselves to keep their threads alive. Or a furry that or a furry that still thinks you can farm Steam points by telling people how stupid they are. Imagine never actually playing games, but sitting on Steam being fake outraged over them. LeMayo. Get 'em, Fury. This game is gonna sell so well, bro. All these chuds with their alt Steam accounts trying to crap all over this game, trying to sink this good game, they're going to be left seething and maulding. You're gonna win, Fury. The winning will be endless. Blue Shot writes, I think the 196k currently watching has more to do with every large streamer and their mother getting paid to play the game than people interest. Okay, I get what you're saying, Blue Shot. Just a little bit of syntax error. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine, guys. Calm down. Mino Thorine replies to Fury. Lol, imagine blocking people that hurt your feelings on the Steam forums. Mofalon replies to Fury. That's exactly what's going on. You must be Sherlock Holmes LeMayo. He's just trying to get in your head, Fury. Don't let him. Don't let him win. You're onto something. You're onto him. He knows it, and he's panicking. This is panic right here. Don't let him gaslight you, Fury. Bisdisja writes, it will probably be having the exact same fate that Highguard had. Under 10k players on release. I mean, think about it. With the reception this game is getting, probably less than 10% of the current players will actually want to spend $40 on this. I think this game might actually bring more players to Arc Raiders, since those that try this game will hear word of mouth that the other game is much better and will probably buy that one instead. This actually almost happened to me. This exact thing, because I haven't played Arc Raiders, and somebody said that game was way better, and I looked it up and I was like, yeah, I'm just not paying $40 for it is all. I couldn't find a key for cheaper, so I gave up on it. But I went through the initial stages of this, and I'm sure there are other people that took that all the way and just bought Arc Raiders and are playing it now. Kind of weird though. I couldn't find Arc Raiders on sale, even though it's been out for what, 6-8 months. I wonder why I couldn't find it on sale. It's very odd. Toffman, who bought the game, writes, "You either die a forum cryberry." You either die a forum crybaby or live long enough to feel like Sisyphus. Hardest learning curve I've experienced in a while. A game that doesn't hold your hand and instead slaps you on the wrist for every mistake. Comparing this to Arc Raiders is comparing baby food to Everclear. A game for everyone is a game for no one. Mofalon replies to Toffman, and this is a game for no one, and it will fail spectacularly. Crunchy Daz writes, imagine spending so much of your time attacking people because you're too insecure that one video game out of a million simply exists. Like, wow. What happens when something with actual substance happens in your life? You must just fall apart. Mofalon replies to Crunchy Daz, what attack and what people, LeMayo? Bro, you're projecting extremely hard right now. You are just upset because we, the actual gamers, are right. Deal with it, bro. Your game is dead. Jim Latney writes, you're just mad that Your Welcome to Highguard was canceled. Touch grass. Yep. Okay, buddy. Ranger Cactus writes, I'm just here to watch Bungie fans rage. We haven't seen a lot of, if you don't like this game, that means you're poor. We need to see some more of that because that's very fun. Moray Eel, familiar name, writes, yet another reminder, Bungie needs this to be an immediate, immense Game of the Year contender blockbuster, or else Bungie is going to die like Firewalker, Wildlight, Bluepoint, etc. Tap Dancing Kerensky writes, Bungie has spent the past 2 years firing staff left and right because they've been missing revenue targets by hundreds of millions of dollars and are desperate to slow the financial bleeding. But don't worry, I'm sure everything is perfectly fine and Marathon has a bright long future ahead. Surely. Angry Mob Justice writes, this isn't healthy. Get some help. The irony of being called Angry Mob Justice and writing this is very funny. Well done. Riley W. Russell writes, it's been pretty gross to watch the people who actively pleasure themselves to game failures. If a game isn't for me, I move on and ignore it. The amount of people out in the world now who genuinely hope and pray a game fails and spend time posting about it is alarming. What a sad and pathetic way to live your life. You know what, Riley? You convinced me, bud. I'm no longer gonna be negative. Only positive vibes from here on out. I'm going to abandon my past ways of toxic, masculine, chud negativity, and we're going to embrace being positive, being a shining light, a beacon of stunning bravery. Starting now. Geld Fade writes, 3 weeks to 1 month to pull the plug on this mess. Game will probably go to a sale state before that happens. I'm guessing 2 weeks after release by up to 50% off. Sora writes, little baby Arc player can't handle fighting real players and not AI. Yeah, if you don't like this game, you know what you need to do? You need to get good, idiot. Maybe if you weren't trash, you would actually enjoy this game. Co writes, this game will be at least twice as successful as Concord. Ein writes, January 31st, 2027. Get in the screenshot. Oh man, this really is 4chan, isn't it? Scotty D95 starts a new thread titled Server Slam secured my pre-order. Yep, they secured my pre-order this weekend. My first impression was a little rocky with the same common complaints like the UI and stuff, but after a few hours of play, it really grew on me. The issues I had with the UI seem easily fixable and look forward to playing more. And he wasn't lying, he's got the mouse icon, he did pre-order it. Come on, 1975.com, who also pre-ordered it, writes, I'd already pre-ordered, but went full deluxe after getting this taste. Stoked it launches so soon. Utnian writes, Server Slam wiped my friend's wish list for this game by 90% and was responsible for 5 refunds. The duality of man. Maziel, who pre-ordered the game, writes, I think pre-ordering is about the stupidest thing one can do, but then I saw a pre-order deal somewhere for 25 bucks and forgot my self-discipline. You're not supposed to have self-awareness, Maziel. Stop it. You're taking my fun away from me. Floro starts a new thread titled "Post here if stolen art assets are the reason you won't be buying." The only reason the studio didn't face legal repercussions was because Anti-Real had no means of affording an attorney. Bungie is a known repeat offender in this regard. It's an established pattern of behavior, and if no one will punish them for their track record, I will, by declining to give this company my business altogether. Time to act shithead AAA studios into the obscurity they never deserved to leave. The artists they steal from deserve the spotlight, not them. Anna Laurel, who pre-ordered the game, first reply: couldn't care less about your little Marxist drama. Anti-Real? Your art? Nah, our art. All right, I'm not gonna read this entire post, but Steve started a new thread titled "I'm shocked by how bad this game is." And what he had to say about the art style is that they should have stolen from a different artist. That's brutal. That is a brutal criticism, Steve. Fox, who was banned, starts a new thread titled "Please remove the moth from the loading screen." I am really enjoying the game so far, but I struggle with lepidopterophobia. Lepidopterophobia. Yep, there it is. Every time the loading screen appears, the image of the moth causes me a lot of distress to the point where I do not want to play anymore. Could you please add an option to toggle this image off? Having a simple black screen with the word loading would be much better for me. I would love to keep playing, but this specific trigger makes it very difficult. Thank you for understanding. Cornelius Wienerbottom writes, should probably just get over it and realize it's not real. Desync writes, boo-hoo, another self-diagnosed fake just to cry about something. Madoys writes, grown-ass man, by the way. Saint Cheese writes, do you not have eyelids? Dead Poetic 6 writes, look elsewhere? How mentally limited can you even be? Brain writes, legit soy millennial complain. J-Rock writes, close you eyes, Jesus.
J-Rock, baby.
J-Rock, baby.
J-Rock, baby.
That shit, dog.
Steve starts a new thread titled Marathon lost 50% of its Steam players in a single day. The concurrent players peak of today is 50% lower than yesterday. This is on February 27th, by the way. Imagine how bad the numbers will be when it's not free to play anymore, but $40. This game is not good and it probably doesn't have a future. Prepare for that and don't buy it. First reply, lol, who was banned, writes, game is bleeding players faster than Highguard did. Not a good sign. All right, people are doing the weekend cope. Let's check the actual numbers of what it was doing throughout the weekend, because the argument is, oh, the players are not, people have jobs, yada, yada, yada. Let's see the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. So here we are on Steam DB. So the weekend was the 28th and the 1st. So it started out at 143 strong start. 143,000 people checked out this game. Right here is about where the weekend started. So we're at about 59,000. Then we keep going. It goes up to about 83,000 is the peak for the weekend. Yeah, peaked at 78 on Saturday, and then on Sunday 64, and then the weekday. So this was the weekday up here in the 6 digits, and then here was the weekend. So yeah, the whole cope of everybody's at work right now. Yeah, I don't think so. That didn't really hold up. Sorry, Bungie. I also want to note that 143,000 people checked out this game, and that's just on Steam. That's not counting PlayStation and Xbox or any of the other platforms that this game is being published on. So plenty of eyes on this game. Plenty of people tried it out, and if people don't want to buy it, that just means that people aren't interested. Not, oh, well, we were all busy. Nope, plenty of people checked it out. If it doesn't sell well, it's just because it couldn't hold people's interest, just like Highguard. Moray Eel writes, imagine how low these numbers are gonna go on Monday, lol. Well, actually, today is Monday at the time of this recording. Let's look and see what the players are doing now. 24,000 people right now on a Monday afternoon. Oh boy. Just doing some basic napkin math, if this is any indicator on how well this game is going to sell, it is not going to make Sony or Bungie any money. It is not going to be the Assassin's Creed Hail Mary that they need it to be in order to get their studio back in the black. Oh boy, I think this might be the end of the line. I'm not trying to be overly pessimistic. I'm not trying to chud out here, but I think it might be the end of the line for Bungie here. This is not looking good. American writes, people are at work. Steve, the OP, writes, Steve Steve, the OP, replies to that. Your name is literally American, so I'll go easy on you. America is not the world. You're not as relevant as you think. That you're at work doesn't matter at all, as the global player count peak is right now, and it's way worse than it was at the exact same time yesterday. Gato Dark 3 writes, whenever I start to get imposter syndrome about data analysis, I just find one of these player count doomsday threads. Pre-order stats aren't public as far as I'm aware, but the number of people following the game on Steam has increased by about 20,000. Wow! 20,000 more followers, guys. 20,000. That's so many. That's definitely going to pay the bills at Bungie. And to all of you looking at the player counts on SteamDB, actually, you're wrong. Actually, Concord was a success, okay? So, maybe you should learn something about data analysis before you criticize, idiot. You probably don't even have a college degree. Oh, imagine thinking Concord failed. Ugh, these uneducated chuds are testing my patience. Mac, who pre-ordered the game, writes, why no players? People have jobs. How is this a hard concept? What day is it? Don't answer that. I'll tell you. It's Friday. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. I can't even with these people. Well, Mac, sorry to say it, bud. We looked at the numbers. It didn't quite work out like you thought it was gonna. Unlucky, bro. Easy Out starts a new thread titled, who's up for watching their favorite streamers play Marathon this weekend? And think of it, guys. Just think of it. If we also pay $40, we could play with them, right? Their audiences could buy the game too, right? And then we could be like parasocially in the game with them. So now we're all on a special secret mission from our top dudesters who just happen to love Marathon. But we'll have to remember that although they may have already gotten us to spend $40 to do this in another game, this will require another different $40, which really isn't that much. What are you, poor? You're part of Streamer Nation. You have $40. Plus, if you can't get a copy, I'm sure the streamers and Marathon Discords you've never heard of will all get about 10 copies they can give away for free. All of these copies were, of course, procured organically. This is going to be such a wonderful weekend for loyal fans and the streamers who really care about us. That's a shame. This only got one reply so far. I guess I could refresh. Yeah, it's still one reply. That's too bad, Easy Out. This was a good post. I liked this one. The Spartan starts a new thread titled, we have Concord 3.0 at home. Hello and welcome to Flopathon, the soulless, dull, and unoptimized quote-unquote game that nobody asked for, which looks like a crash test dummy's fever dream in terms of graphics, art style, and aesthetics, and adds nothing new to the genre in terms of core mechanics or really anything else. And all that garbage can be yours at launch on March 5th for only 40 euros. Rafflemal. Valkyria, familiar name, writes, it hasn't flopped. Chronic Complainer Reviews replies to that. It already flopped. They will never get 6 million sales of this game, so it's a flop. Valkyria replies to that. Let me guess, Dr. Disaster told you that? ODST Snake writes, visual based on extreme LGHD TV aesthetics. Oh, here we go. Desync writes, it's okay if you can't afford it. There are other poors in the world who can't. Meanwhile, I bought 3 collector's editions. I don't see no mouse icon, Desync. May you be being disingenuous? Minothorine, familiar name, writes, wow, so many familiar faces. Yeah, we're getting some throwbacks here. There's some names in here I haven't seen in a long time. Literally years. Oh, this is so stupid. Dark writes, join our Discord, Blue Sky account. The warning signs were there. JFC, they even have a Discord link in the game for issues arising in the beta. The Spartan writes, the numbers, Mason, why do they keep going down? Exal writes, it's becoming hard to track which Concord is which number in this GCU Concord gaming universe. It's the CGU, the Concord gaming universe. I can't get that sentence out. It's becoming hard to track which Concord is which number in this GCU Concord gaming universe. Okay, so the Valve mods lock the thread. Bruce, give him a hand. He does it for free. He said it was non-productive argument. They're literally arguing about the graphics and being boring and unoptimized. Isn't that the whole point of the... Oh, man. Yep. I actually don't understand, Bruce. We're going to need more than that from you, because I thought actually the conversation here was very relevant, but whatever. He's doing it for free. Quilo de Batatas starts a new thread titled To the Haters. The internal report just dropped. We are winning. I know you guys love to stare at the Steam DB and scream dead game because the line went down, but let me educate you on how the industry actually works. I just saw the average revenue per user charts for the launch window. You guys are going to be so mad. While the tourists, you, were leaving negative reviews and quitting because you couldn't hit a wall jump, the whales were swiping. Highguard currently has the highest dollar per minute engagement metric in the... Oh god, this is a copy pasta, isn't it? Oh no. I'm pretty sure I read this exact copy pasta in the Highguard forums, and I just didn't recognize it until it literally said Highguard. Oh man. Well, we've made it this far. Highguard currently has the highest dollar per minute engagement metric in the genre. The studio doesn't need 100,000 freeloaders straining the server bandwidth. We have 10,000 players who are actually spending money. The player drop wasn't a failure, it was a market correction. We shed the dead weight. The game is fully funded for 3 years based on the deluxe edition sales alone. So keep posting your RIP memes. The devs are laughing all the way to the bank while they design Season 5 for the people who actually matter. Cope harder. First reply, G-Lad. I understood that reference. Ram Ranch's weakest twink writes, Lil Bro's English sucks so hard he had to ask ChatGPT to make the text for him. Ha 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 ha. If you want to be funny, what you can do is just put M dashes in your troll posts to make people think it was AI generated, just so you can bait out replies like this. I think that's the next evolution in the metagame. I haven't seen very much of it yet, but I think that's coming. Just one suspiciously placed M dash will make people question their entire reality. Pathetic turd who was banned writes, Skidmark Steve, is that you? Telljax writes, and I'm sure the user throughput diversification matrix is going to cause the up-down profit vector encabulator to pivot into the green because of this, right? Shoving that much corpo speak into a single post can't be healthy. Also, don't forget to brush your teeth once you're done licking their boots. Crick starts a new thread titled Streamers are the worst thing to happen to video gamers. Streamer partnerships absolutely can influence how they talk about games, but it's not always as simple as they're paid so they lie. These relationships create financial and social incentives. Does it mean their opinions are fake? Not necessarily. Discuss. Jackie Daytona writes, brand ambassadors streamers are just soulless Abercrombie models. Rog Spartha writes, most of these streamers are know-nothing knobends in the real world who stumbled into money by being obnoxious in some particular way that appeals to the brain-dead watchers addicted to their phone screens. I give humanity another 25 years at most. Shadow Arcanist starts a new thread titled No One Uses Mics. I don't know if it's that people do not have mics, or if you have duels in Discord, or they are those Destiny introverts that do not like communicating with other humans, but it's not working for me. That was my experience as well. I played for 2 hours and didn't hear a single mic. Not one other player was talking. I was trying to talk to them. I was using my mic. I didn't hear anybody else. Grumpy Bob says it's a bug. Yeah, I'd actually believe that. Zeris writes, it might be because people don't want to talk to you too. Gamers are F-King stupid. Starts a new thread titled, Yo, can we turn off the moth deep-throating a genetically engineered sausage? Don't really need to see your avant-garde BS while I teabag Johnny Amosist. First reply, Frog. It's a silk moth. Gamers are F-King stupid replies to that. It needs age verification. Archon, who owns the game, writes, that is your moth mommy and she is making you a new body to get killed again. Mnemonic starts a new thread titled Political Term for Hatred of Game. Astroturfing. Hi y'all. If you're confused why there's so much hate, it's because we live in an age where bad actors like to harness people's alienation to push their agendas. One way they do this is through astroturfing. Astroturfing is the deceptive practice of hiding the sponsors of an orchestrated message or organization to make it appear as though it originates from and is supported by unsolicited grassroots participants. In other words, a group with with money that is under threat is attacking the game with hateful ideas to sway public sentiment against it. If all things were equal, people would have mild inquisitive thoughts and criticisms of the game. If the hatred you're seeing feels unnatural, that's because it is. These are bad people with an agenda and lots of money. Well, you got the lots of money part right, Mnemonic, because I'm loaded, baby. I'm a baller. I'm a shot caller. I got the Lambos in the garage. I got the private jet in the hangar. I'm making that YouTube money, baby. But I can't afford $40 for Marathon, so I won't be buying it. Sorry, guys. First reply, familiar name, Moray Eel. Spoiler, I do it for free, OP. Shot Gundam 009 writes, yeah, I'm an industry planted hater. I get paid the big bucks to talk about layoff slops like this game. Lyra Heartstrings Vivo writes, wait, I can get paid for disliking a AAA release with confused gameplay direction? Can you hook me up? Rune writes, this is the same nonsensical logic people use when they accuse the audience of review bombing, when there is zero evidence of any sort of organized effort, and it is literally just grassroots individuals. Meanwhile, these billion-dollar corporations literally own the gaming journalists. I don't know what you're talking about, Rune. Kotaku has always been a bastion of journalistic integrity and purity, and they've never done anything even remotely controversial that would undermine their credibility as legitimate journalists. Mnemonic, the OP, writes, it's so weird and unnatural, the responses to this post. Like, what kind of people just hate everything? Get a life, you effing losers. All right, last thread, then we're gonna get out of here. Andy TM starts a new thread titled Cuck Raiders. Hate for this game is so forced it hurts. Stems from zero critical thought and all from Asmongold watchers. Literally nobody can say anything that would prove me wrong here. Desync first reply. It's totally forced. Most are crying because Bungie stole some crappy art from some irrelevant kid. The rest are forced to hate because their favorite streamer told them to. But Steam discussions has always and will always be for the trolls. Tons of other places the game is getting mad praise as it should. I even bought 3X collector's editions over $540, and that's pocket change for me. Sad thing though, the ones crying right now will be posting how much they love this game once their favorite streamers stars playing and facts never lie. Portal Shifter writes, Asmongold NPC cult is out in full force. They've been told what to think and they are repeating what they've been told. Vinar, who was banned, writes, I agree, trash raiders will bleed out when this Game of the Year game releases. Can't wait. Pathetic Turd, who was banned, writes, don't mention cucking. You're getting me all hot and bothered. Okay, I think we're done on that. Oh God. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Marathon comes out in a couple days. I know you guys are really excited. Can't wait to get your hands on some neon colored piss filter extraction shooter gameplay. But that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys had fun. Hopefully you guys got a couple of cheap laughs out of that. Hope I made your commute to work a little bit easier, but I'm out of here for now. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.